Welcome to Missing the Mark, where we look for meaning in strange places. I'm Christopher. Today we're going to relax and just have some fun. Specifically, I'm going to look at some of the worst arguments I've heard from atheists and present them about other things for which they work equally well. And please note that since this is all for humor, I'm probably going to come to all sorts of conclusions I don't really believe. And since this is YouTube, I'm including this disclaimer for the minority who don't know how to take a joke. If that's you, pause this video, go and learn how to understand a joke. It's a learnable skill, and then come back. For the rest of us, here's some fun with atheist arguments, and I assure you that I've personally heard the real version of every one of these. Oh, by the way, this isn't great comedy. I just kind of needed it, so I hope it's of some value to you too. Did you know that there are people who think that the Earth is round? Where's their evidence? They'll tell you something about Aristotle saying the Earth's shadow when it eclipses the moon proves it's round and ships disappearing over the horizon proves it's a sphere, but come on, Aristotle? He thought that things fell because they liked being on the ground. Science has disproved Aristotle. Where is the peer-reviewed evidence that I can see or hear that the Earth is round? Oh, and of course the really smart ones will tell you that the Earth isn't round, it's an oblate spheroid, whatever that nonsense is supposed to mean. Like the particular shape makes a difference. Smart people never know more than unintelligent people. They're just better at fooling us with big words than we are at understanding the big words. Look, you don't believe that the Earth is a cube, and you don't believe that the Earth is a pyramid, or a prism, or a dodecahedron. There are thousands of shapes you don't believe the Earth is. Me too. I just also don't believe that it's a sphere. And it's not like there's such a thing as objective shape. What would that even mean? There's one shape that everything is? Or that a thing is a shape no matter who's looking at it? Give me a break. Shape is just an evolutionary construct that happened to make our ancestors more likely to survive. It's not real. Just look at a thing from two different perspectives. It's got a different shape. See? Shape is subjective. And it's not like everyone has agreed that the Earth is the same shape. So who's right? Let me guess. Your culture happens to be the one who's right. Out of the billions of shapes that people have thought the Earth is, you were lucky enough to be born into the one that's right. How cute. And now you're going to tell me that there's scientific evidence for the Earth being a sphere. Don't give me any of that oblate spheroid stuff. I don't care about your hair-splitting distinctions that you're trying to use to distinguish your shape from everybody else's shape. It's a shape. Just deal with it. Well, so what? Science also says that the Earth is only 7,000 years old. And no, I don't care about your petty internecine squabbles. Just because you say that creation science isn't real, and creation scientists are heretics, not real scientists, doesn't mean that your no true Scotsman fallacy is going to work on me. We all know that virtually all scientists, and especially the original scientists, were all creation scientists. Just because you're embarrassed at how stupid they are, trying to define them away won't work. And it's not like you can even get at truth anyway. You can't. Knowledge is impossible. And you think so too. Like my friend Eve Kaninen, I'm an epistemicist. As she pointed out, we all reject soothsaying, gossip, myths, lies, fan fiction, hypotheticals. I just reject your science too. We're all epistemicists. I just reject one more way of knowing than you do. And why would you want to be a scientist anyway? Science has caused all of the wars throughout history. People wouldn't kill each other if it weren't for science. And if science is true, we're all slaves subject to universal laws we can't escape. Who would want that? And besides, science is just constantly contradicting itself. Light is a wave of the aether. Light isn't a wave in the aether. Light is a particle. Light isn't a particle. Come on. Science is just riddled with contradictions. How are you supposed to decide between them? Who says which interpretation of science is right anyway? And interpretations are just a way for clever people to rationalize the stupid stuff they believe. Anything true doesn't need an interpretation. It just means what it means because it uses the true definitions that you can find in the dictionary, not the false definitions you just made up. And besides, where's your evidence? There's no evidence that light is a particle or a wave. I just checked my pockets, and look, no evidence. Evidence means evidence which is in your pockets. Or maybe on the desk in front of you. And if light were a wave, you could hear it. You can hear the waves on the beach. Why can't you hear light waves? It's because they're not waves. I know that in your textbook that you dug up out of some hole in the ground, there's a story about Thomas Young doing a double slit experiment. But come on. We don't know who wrote the book, and Thomas Young didn't exist. He's just a myth. There's no evidence that he existed at all. And records from people who believe that he did the double slit experiment don't count. They just made that up. If he existed at all, there would be detailed records from people who think he didn't conduct the double slit experiment but was just a train conductor. And really, you should know this since there's so many sciences. Which is right, biology or chemistry? And there isn't just one biology. There are biologists who hold that birds are animals, and biologists who hold that walruses are animals, and biologists who hold that rhinoceroses are animals, and biologists who hold that dogs are animals. And then there are biologists who think that trees are plants, while others say that ferns are plants, and still others that tomato plants are plants. They've even tried to smuggle that one into the name. And that's just within one country. German biologists don't think that trees are plants, they think that Baumen are plants. At Christmas time, they don't sing to their Christmas tree. Instead, they sing to their Tannenbaum. There are just so many different beliefs. Or is it geologists who are right? Is granite the one true rock? And yes, I know. Physicists say that the law of gravity is different because it applies to everyone everywhere. Every scientist thinks that their law is different. When you've got this many competing claims, the only rational thing to do is to assume that they're all false. It really amazes me how irrational everyone is. No one, besides me, knows anything. It's a really good thing I've never studied anything, because studying things seems to make you really stupid. Okay, I think that's enough for now. And if any angry atheists have made it this far and are planning to tell me that I'm not funny in the comments, please be sure to include evidence that your opinion is worth something. Otherwise, lacking a belief that it's worth anything, I'm going to ignore it. Until next time, may you hit everything you aim at. Welcome to Missing the Mark, where we look for meaning in strange places. I'm Christopher. Today we're going to relax and just have some fun. Specifically, I'm going to look at some of the worst arguments I've heard from atheists and present them about other things for which they work equally well. And please note that since this is all for humor, I'm probably going to come to all sorts of conclusions I don't really believe. And since this is YouTube, I'm including this disclaimer for the minority who don't know how to take a joke. If that's you, pause this video, go and learn how to understand a joke. It's a learnable skill, and then come back. For the rest of us, here's some fun with atheist arguments, and I assure you that I've